We do begin tonight with a warning from the state of California, once the epicenter of the American dream. Beautiful natural resources, beautiful landscapes, incredible weather, free-thinking entrepreneurs, the land of Ronald Reagan. It has now been utterly ruined by Democrats who live there and their Democratic elected officials that have literally run the state into the ground and now are chasing people away. Americans are now fleeing that state in droves because of a number of very serious issues: the lawlessness, the crime, the violent crime, high taxes, suffocating regulation. In fact, each of the last 2 years, California has witnessed their population decline. This is the first time that has ever happened in over 170 years. But tonight, we're going to focus on one of the most pressing issues in the Golden State, and that is their massive energy crisis that is going on right now today. Now, this week, from the comfort of his own very well air-conditioned home, look, he's even wearing long sleeves and everything. You see far-left socialist Governor Gavin Newsom donned with a warm fleece jacket, demanding that other Californians turn up their thermostats to 78 degrees, turn their lights off. And by the way, my favorite part of it is you must refrain from charging your electric vehicle that costs you $20,000 more than a gas-powered vehicle because the state's power grid is totally collapsing. This from a state that just banned the sale of gas-powered cars by 2035. Good luck with that plan. Now, meanwhile, Fang's former lover, Democratic hack Eric Swalwell, echoed the governor's desperate pleas, tweeting, quote, "It is time to rally, California. We all need to do our part to help avoid power outages this week. Before 4 p.m., pre-cool your home." I'm sure that'll last all through the night. After 4 p.m., avoid the use of major appliances. I don't know, maybe you can cook a fried egg outside on maybe the cement, who knows? And turn your thermostat to 78 or higher. Let's keep the lights on, California. You can't make this up. Now, this energy rationing and forthcoming potential blackout, brownout is the direct result of the state's climate hysteria. Lawmakers now have already shut down 75% of the state's nuclear power plants. What do you expect? They're now implementing a plan to phase out all oil and gas production by 2045. They've already banned fracking. They banned gas-powered lawnmowers. They even banned gas-powered leaf blowers. And, of course, they pump billions and billions of wasted dollars into inefficient solar panels, wind turbines, and hydroelectric dams in areas facing long-term droughts. It's turned out to be an unmitigated disaster. The result, the state with the most natural resources in the country is now reliant on other states and the country of Mexico to support their very own power grid that they're still short on power of. And by the way, importing more than 30% of their energy needs, and that's still not enough. And by the way, despite all these measures, the state's grid is still overwhelmingly comprised of, you got it, natural gas. This is the European model of green energy. Except Europe exported its energy needs to Russia. They're importing it from Russia. And Putin just shut down the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. And guess what? They're not getting anything. Look at this from Bloomberg today. Households in the epicenter of the European crisis saw August bills jump an average 185% compared with 1 year earlier. Come winter, this insane spike is expected to get so much worse. European families now are spending 20 or 30% of their entire income on monthly heating bills alone. Now, depending on foreign countries, huge price increases, energy rationing, rolling blackouts, brownouts, no air conditioning, no heat, electric cars that you're not even allowed to plug in. Those expensive electric vehicles, by the way, are powered by fossil fuels. That's the European model. This is the California model. And this is the future that Democrats want for you. But don't take my word for it. Just listen to Biden's Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm. She's saying it. Take a listen.
California is in the lead, can show the rest of the nation how it is done.
Wow. Today, when asked if Biden agrees with his own energy secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre was unable to answer that question. Take a look at this.
Last Friday, the Energy Secretary said of green technology in California that state was in the lead and showing the rest of the nation how it's done. The state is currently bracing for blackouts. They've set ambitious goals, and yet in particular, their governor is asking folks there not to charge their electric vehicles. Does the president agree that California is an example for the rest of the country as it transitions?
I haven't seen those specific statements. I would like to see it in fuller context that the secretary has made, so I'm not going to comment on something that I haven't seen in full.
All right, green energy and climate alarmism, that is the centerpiece of Biden's horrific agenda, and the energy grid in California is imploding. Now, some residents there have been pictured allegedly changing their Teslas and charging them out there with gas-powered generators. I love that. That's like my favorite picture. You know, you have an electric vehicle, but you're using a gas-powered generator to charge it up. White House press secretary can't be bothered to familiarize herself with the issue. And you may have noticed that Democrats don't really care about the quality of your life. In fact, it's pretty obvious that they hate you, especially if you have or have ever supported Donald Trump. So now they want to take away your individual power. They want you to transition or accept their transition, even though they don't have the technology. Green energy, renewables that they keep saying we're going to become energy dependent on is not available. So they're going to follow the failed European-style socialist hellscape where you own nothing, control nothing, and simply live to exist while a ruling class is making every decision for you. And then we're going to take all the power and we're going to make countries like Russia, Iran, Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, OPEC nations rich again. Now, this obsession with green energy is really also about socialism, and it's a front on all things socialism, because if they really cared about the environment, we would be producing all of our oil, all of our gas, all of our coal right here at home. And guess what? We do it faster, we do it cheaper, we do it cleaner. Importing it on massive ships from the Middle East or Venezuela or Russia or China or Iran, well, why would we want to make the Iranian mullahs rich again? And it also causes much more harm to the environment and makes hostile regimes filthy rich. We should become energy dominant and help our European allies out, and we'd become filthy rich, maybe not even have to pay taxes. Now, if the left actually cared about the environment, they would be honest about the environmental impact of electric cars that are charged by our own power grid, by fossil fuels that rely on batteries comprised of rare earth minerals and materials mined with heavy diesel equipment in foreign countries, home to few, if any, environmental regulations. They don't tell you that part. If Biden cared about the environment, he wouldn't be draining America's strategic petroleum reserve, now at a 37-year low. How did we get to a 37-year low? Well, he gave 1 million barrels of oil he sold to the Chinese. Not sure why, but mostly it was used as a ploy to temporarily lower gas prices, artificially lower gas prices, just before the election to make you think gas prices were going down and the market was becoming more stable. That is a ploy that is beyond sinister because it's dangerous to our national security. Now, Democrats, they're not being honest as usual. Their policies will not make your life any better in any way. This is not speculation. We're seeing this in real time after decades of one-party Democratic rule in places like California, like New York, like Baltimore, like Philadelphia, like Chicago. The standard of living always goes down. Now, all through nearly 2 years of Joe Biden, well, guess what? Every American is now paying more for gas to fill up their cars. They're paying more to heat and cool their homes. They're paying more for every item they buy at every store that they go to. It's getting worse every day. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.